And if you're listening in heaven and you have a phone, call me, or you may be able to communicate without having to use the phone. After all, it is heaven. On Sunday night, I watched this interview with the Great White Hope and that liberal woman, Leslie Stahl. And I have to tell you, Leslie is evil to the bone. She is an evil, 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 evil woman. But the president told her how the cow ate the cabbage. It was so good.
I listen to you quite often, and I just started red pilling about a year ago now, a little bit more than a year ago now. But I just want to let you know you're one of the voices that helped me to learn what's really going on in the world.
Right on. What is red pilling?
Red pilling is, have you ever seen The Matrix?
Yes.
So the part where Morpheus goes to Neo and says, I have a red pill and a blue pill. If you take the blue pill, you wake up and believe whatever you want to believe. You stay where you're at. But if you take the red pill, you learn the truth and find out what's really going on.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
I like red pill.
Yes, sir.
It is amazing. This hour's gone already. Let me go back to T. So, T, what am I doing to quote-unquote empower white people?
What you're doing is simply bringing up everything that others do wrong, Jesse, and not bringing up anything that white people do wrong. You know what you do, Jesse.
And so by bringing up the things that the colored people are doing, how is that empowering white people?
You are an avenue for white folks to call in, to talk about every other race, put down every other race, say what other races doing, as if they do no wrong, and you give them the avenue, okay?
What color is Hillary? What color is Lion Crooked?
That's not my question.
No, you made the statement. What color is Lion Crooked Hillary?
Yes. So what?
What color is Hillary Clinton?
She's a white female.
What color is the leaders of the Democratic Party?
Yes, sir. You know what you're doing.
So you said that hold up.
You know what you do, Jesse? You know what you do, man. You know what you do, Jesse. I'm not going to get into the childish things.
You can't call and just make a statement and think you're going to control my show in the way that the subject goes.
I'm not trying to control.
If you make these false allegations, I'm going to put T on. I'm put T. He's black. I'm put him on hold. If you make these false allegations, you're going to have to defend them. You just can't make them and then run into another subject. It doesn't go that way, bro.
How many black people do you know? How about this? How many black people do you know?
Hey, Jay, come back from your phone.
How many black people do you know?
Jake, you're too close to your phone, so it causes static. Calm down.
How many black people do you know?
Much better.
How many black people do you know, sir?
3.
Did you hear what you just said? You're a black man and just said, I know 3 black people. There's something wrong with that. There's something very wrong with that.
I know Clarence Thomas,
but you want to,
Dr. Carson,
but then this is
and Larry Elder.
Who knows only 3 black people, but then want to tell a black man how to be a black man. Are you serious?
Do you see that most black men are weak?
No, I don't. That's why I said to you, how can you say that most black men are weak when you only know 3 of them?
Right, but that's why I only know 3. You call me a coon?
That's why you're on the Coon Train.
Are you calling me a coon?
Sir, yeah, I'm calling you a coon. Hell yeah, I'm calling you a coon.
Here's a Coon Train.
You are a coon.
So you're judging me.
Okay? You would not be around real black people, and you know that.
Why
you
not?
would not say that to a real black man.
I'm saying it to you.
That.
Thank you, Jay.
Sir, you're saying it to me with a phone.
Thank you, Jay.
Sir,
back in a moment. Amazing. Amazing. We on? Amazing. Welcome to the Father State YouTube Live. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Apologize for the late start, but we are black, and black people are late. David, thank you for coming.
I can't believe I'm here.
I know, it's amazing.
Last time we didn't end well. You
I
remember?
know, right.
Do you remember?
I remember I had to kick you off my show.
You kicked me off. You said, I'd never have that idiot back on my show.
Yeah.
You called me a girly man.
Yeah.
What changed your mind about having me back after the ban?
My producer. Just because I fight with you doesn't mean I don't love you.
Okay.
Yeah, you love me?
I don't really know you.
Do you have to know me to love me?
I have a general love for all people, but I don't know you.
But do you need to know me to love me?
Sometimes you will admit a question can be sort of, it's like, when did you stop beating your wife, right? Like, not every question is fair.
Maybe.
Well, maybe you beat your wife, I don't know, but and that would be an example.
You never beat your wife?
I'm not married.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, wait until you get married. You are a progressive, right? Not a liberal.
I don't know. I don't know what we gain from talking
Would
about
you
that.
consider yourself progressive?
I want to see progress.
And one of the reasons I'm concerned about you being a progressive is that
Me specifically or all progressives?
all men.
Men, only men.
Only men.
Progressive women don't concern you.
It's normal for women to be progressive
Interesting.
or liberal, but
Wow.
it's abnormal for a man to be a liberal or progressive. It's a sign of being a beta male.
I didn't know that.
Because real men are conservative, Republican, and strong in
Wow.
nature.
I've definitely moved to the left the more I've become educated about issues.
This is why it's not good to allow children to go to public schools, because they're brainwashing them and
Well, I didn't go to public school.
they're turning them away from their values.
I'm kidding. I did go to public school.
Yeah. Do you date?
I do. It's possible I date men or both, right?
Well, that is possible, but I wouldn't assume that about you.
You didn't assume that then? Okay.
Yeah, unless you tell me.
No.
Do you date men too?
Exclusively women.
Oh. Whew. You like sluts?
I'm sorry?
You
Slut?
like sluts?
I don't know any.
Have you ever slept with a slut?
I don't think so.
Would you date a slut?
It's a pejorative. It's not a term I use.
Amazing. Do you know what a slut is when you see one?
No.
Well, make sure you watch the slut walk
Okay.
on the Fall Estate. Why don't you date men?
I'm not attracted to men.
Oh, good.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
You do not see anything wrong with it?
With being attracted to men?
Why not?
Why would it be wrong?
Because it's of the same sex, so it's abnormal.
But that's not an argument.
It's a fact. If a woman decides that, I feel like a man, and I want to be a man, and she goes to a doctor, rushes down the road to a doctor's office,
Yep.
he take off her female body parts and attach male body parts to them,
Wow.
to her. Would that make her a male?
Would it make her male or would it make her a man?
Either one. or
Depends
both.
how you define either, right?
All right. Would it make her a man or a male? Would she still be a woman with body part of a man?
I mean, this isn't my area of expertise.
Well, you know right from wrong when you see it, right?
Do I know right from wrong? I don't know. Do I?
You don't know if you know right from wrong?
I think people want to know what's right and what's wrong.
But how about you? Do you know right from wrong?
I feel like I do.
Right. And so if you knew a female who took off her female body parts and attached a male body part to them, would you think, wow, that's a man, or would you still know that's a woman?
Depends on the person, right? Depends what they look like and sort of how they exist
Well, how
in the
about if it was a
world.
woman that you knew her very well? She
Yeah.
said, David, you and I are good friends. Today I'm going to become a man.
Okay.
I'm going down to the doctor's office there and have some male body parts attached.
Right.
Would you think that your friend is a woman or a man?
I mean, my reaction would be radical empathy. I would say, oh, wow, that's a major change. Like, what's going on that's making you want to do that? And I would listen to them with empathy.
But would you know it's still a woman, or would you think it's a man? Would
Hard
you
to
personally
say.
think it's a man?
Hard to say. I mean, every person's different, right? I don't know what they would be like, what it would be like to be with them.
But what would you think?
I don't
Would
know
you still,
who's
like,
the
I would
person.
still know that that's a woman.
Right.
I don't care how many male body parts she's attached.
Right.
It's still a woman.
Okay.
But would you consider it might be a man? Would you think of it as a man?
It? Would I think of it as a man?
Right. But would you think of the female as a man?
We'd have to meet.
Would you think it's a man or a woman?
I have no idea.
Amazing.
Oh, do we agree about anything?
Well, it sounds like we don't.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about Judge Kavanaugh.
Okay.
When the children of the lie tried to take his life,
I'm not familiar with them.
the children of the lie, the liberal media, the Democratic Party,
Oh.
the right-o Republicans, the never-Trumpers, civil rights leaders, all those folks, they are children of the lie.
It's a lot of people.
It is. So you have a big family. But when they tried to destroy him, that woman, whatever her name is, when she lied on him, and you saw that the children of the lie tried to destroy this man, his wife, and his children by accusing him of being a rapist and all that, calling him a rapist. Were you disappointed to see the children of the lie acting that way? The only thing she remember is a beer.
That's not
and
true.
So you
she remembered a lot of stuff.
You would have to want to believe her, not to see that she was lying. And plus, she seemed mentally off. You know, like the lights was on, but nobody was home.
You're making assessments of who's mentally off on TV.
She seemed mentally off because she's like, you know, she's like kind of weird. And so whenever I see women like that and men like that, it reminds me.
Men and women like what?
Like Ford, just wicked lying. This woman was willing to destroy this man because she didn't agree with his politics. She was being used, I believe, because she kind of out there.
What could she have done during the hearings where you would have said, I believe her?
Has she gone there to say, you know what, the children of the lie are trying to use me, and I see no reason this man should be destroyed, and so I just want you to know not to trust the children of the lie.
Wow.
Or has she brought real evidence? But she brought none, zero. But that's how evil the children of the left are. They'll destroy you to get what they want, and that's power and wealth. Would you want someone to falsely to accuse you, and now you and the world has to believe the accuser and not believe you? Or would you rather be
It's funny you mention that.
Innocent until proven guilty?
So there's two different things, right? In our justice system, in our legal system, we have innocence until guilt has been proven.
Right.
There's no question about that. What happened with Dr. Christine Blasey Ford was not part of the justice system, right? This was people like you and me and 100 senators and the public making an assessment of the believability of two different people, right? So nobody, I would say to you, innocence until guilt has been proven is logical if you're looking at putting someone in prison. But this wasn't a criminal trial. You acknowledge that, right?
That's so ridiculous. I don't know what to say about it.
It's just true.
It's interesting how when the children of the lie
No, but
try
saying
to
it's ridiculous
destroy
isn't an
you,
argument.
It's ridiculous.
It's not an argument.
This man was accused. I don't care if it was an innocent man walking down the road. You don't just accuse people. And whatever reason you're going to make up for it doesn't make sense. This woman, she accused this man with no proof, and the children of the lie tried to destroy him.
You know, a lot of people are sexually assaulted and raped, and they don't come forward. And the reason they don't
believe
come...
that. That's a made-up lie, too. If you notice, they say things over and over and over and over and over again, and if you're not paying attention, you find yourself believing in it. But when you really do research, you find out that it's not true. Like they were claiming at one time that there was rape on college campuses was out of control, right? We now found out that that was a lie. And so
How did you find out it was a lie?
Research has proven that. I don't have any with me, but
there's no rape on campuses.
It's not out of control in the manner that they pretended that it is.
How do you define out of control?
It's not happening in the numbers that they say.
What numbers did they say?
But the children of the lie, I don't have numbers, but the children of the lie say that because they want to deceive you. And then they bring in all this emotion. I was 30 years ago, I was walking down the road and a man raped me.
We should trust and verify all accusers.
So you're not for this thing about a woman can accuse you and she should not be believed.
I am for trust but verify.
Right, but don't believe her just because she said it.
The legal system's got to investigate. If it turns out she lied, of course there should be consequences.
But I'm asking you, should we believe it just because they said it?
We shouldn't disbelieve it because it's such a big thing to come forward and make such an allegation.
And so should they be believed just because they said it?
They shouldn't be written off.
Should they be believed just because they said it?
They should, and then we do an investigation. And
they
if it turns out
they should be believed because they said it?
How would you start an investigation if you don't believe them?
I'm not going to assume either way. I'm just going to take your information and check it out to see if it's true.
You're going to check it out, but if you didn't believe it, you wouldn't even check it out.
As an individual, should we believe the women just because they said it?
It's a false framing of the question. When you say just because they said it,
just because they said it,
I would trust them and I would verify.
But you're not answering the question.
That's the answer.
But
you don't like the answer.
You don't understand the question?
I think I understand it.
What is it about the question that's difficult for you?
It's the framing of it, because believe means what? I'm not saying on her say-so we put somebody in prison,
No,
right, if you're asking me that.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
I would believe
So,
it enough to
David,
investigate it.
Would you, David Patman, believe it just because she said it?
I liked how you had to check what my last name was there. I would believe it enough to investigate it, yeah.
Give me just a yes. I'm black and slow. So give me a simple yes or no. Would you believe it just because they said it?
How else would you find out about it if they didn't say
You're
it?
not answering the question.
This is a
Your
circle.
friends are watching right now.
I hope so.
And they're watching because they thought you were going to kick my butt. So you got to live up to it.
I would believe it because the only way we're going to learn about it is if they say it, and then I'd investigate.
So you would believe it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And if you notice that Barack Obama, the fallen messiah, and Big Mama Michelle, he tried to turn America into a socialist society.
What's one example of a socialist policy that he had?
Free Obama phones.
So how can you?
Is
So
free
hold on a
Obama
second.
phone socialism?
I want to ask a real question.
I'm asking you a real question.
Let me ask you a real. I really want to know this. The arguments against places like Venezuela and Cuba and other so-called socialist countries are that no one has anything, no one can afford anything, there's no technology, there's no food. But you're saying that cell phones for people are socialism?
Yes.
That's your argument?
Yes. Whenever the Democrats want a vote, they need the black votes, they just cry racism. The black people go into a trance, and they go in and they reach for the D while eating chicken. And
Let me suggest to you that it's not that way.
And they press, no, it is that way.
Well, are you open to hearing why I don't think so?
I am, but let me finish this.
Good.
Hillary Clinton, when she wanted the black vote, she goes to the churches, black churches.
Sure.
I don't feel no ways tired. I feel like going on. And the blacks go, yeah, praise the Lord, praise the Lord.
Okay.
And so, okay, we got to vote next month.
Yep.
And they go into that trance. And then
Here's
vote.
why I don't
Isn't that a plantation mentality?
Okay, so you've given us one example. Can I give you a
Answer me first,
counterpoint?
though. Is that a plantation mentality?
I don't know that particular example.
Amazing. Are you for open borders?
No.
Are you for the wall going up?
No, I don't think it'll make a big difference.
Amazing. And so there are a caravan of illegal aliens coming now, between 3,000 to 4,000, 400,000, I think, something like that. Are you happy that when you turn on the TV, you see these people coming?
I'm not for, so I mean, I'm against crossing the border
So
illegally.
should we put the wall up before they get there so they can't cross?
We could make it so that they're not even trying to come over here if we actually worked with the countries they're coming from to improve the economy.
So Israel put up a wall around its borders. Was Israel wrong for doing that?
Well, wrong and effective are two different things.
So let's do both. Were they wrong for putting up a border?
Very
a wall?
different situation. Have you been to Israel?
I have.
Have you gone to those areas?
I have.
So have I. I mean, I think that the main, there's a couple differences that are going on there. I mean, one is that Arab Israelis are Israeli citizens, and what you're talking about there is like a very specific security situation. I would still prefer that wall not be necessary, right? But it's not the same situation.
That's
it's not
amazing
analogous.
to me.
Yeah.
So again, I'm black and slow. Was Israel wrong for putting up a border? Yes or no?
It would be up to them to say. Who am I
No,
to say if they were right? I would still prefer that wall not be necessary.
You're
or wrong.
saying about our borders.
I'm not saying it would be wrong. I'm saying it's not what I would do. If they want to do it, do it.
The border that Israel put up, is it effective?
I'm not sure.
So all of a sudden you're dumb when it comes to Israel. You don't keep up with what's happening in Israel?
I keep up with it. I don't know the specifics of how
You
effective
do.
the
You're
wall
not
is.
being honest right now.
No, I really don't.
No, I don't believe it. You do know, but you won't say.
Okay.
And the reason you won't say because you know that wall is effective. You know they did the right thing to put it up, but you won't say it because that means that if you admit this about Israel doing it,
no.
you will have to admit
I'm
that
speculating
we
here.
should put a wall around our border. So you're not being honest.
I'm speculating
and
here.
shame on you for that. I'm glad Israel did it. It's the right thing to do, but it's also right for my country. And I'm a little surprised you won't admit that because you know it's true. You believe in Poland?
Generally speaking, yeah.
Did you believe them when President Trump was running for president and all the polls were saying that Hillary's going to win? Did you believe that?
I believed the polls that Hillary would win the popular vote, and she did.
But you didn't believe that she would become president?
I thought it was certainly plausible and likely, sure.
And why did you think that?
Oh, because of the polls.
So you believe the polls that Hillary Clinton would win.
The polls were accurate in that she won the popular vote by 3%. That's
And
what
because of that, you thought Hillary Clinton would win, right?
the national polls assessed what the popular vote difference would be.
Right.
They said Hillary would win by about 3%. She did.
So did you believe that Hillary Clinton would win as president?
I
Because
did,
of that?
and I was wrong. People
Based
are wrong
on
all the time.
What the polls said, right?
Yeah.
So why are you, and the polls lied.
They didn't lie.
Yeah, they weren't true.
They just didn't assess the electoral vote results.
Why are you believing the polls now?
I have no reason to doubt the polls.
I suggest you should. The children are going to cafes and restaurants and airports and just carrying on, right? It's turning off a lot of people, a lot of decent people.
I guess we'll see.
Do you believe that is happening?
I don't think so. I'm not seeing that now.
What is a man?
I'm sorry?
What is a man?
I do politics, not dictionary.
Are you a man?
I think so.
And what is a man?
You'd
Not
have
a
to get a
male.
dictionary
You know the
person.
male thing, right? But a man, what is a man?
Is this what you do, define words?
Yeah, what is a man?
I don't do definitions on my show. I'm not the right person to ask. That's so boring.
Do you know what it is?
Do I know what a man is?
Yes.
When I hear the word man, I think of mankind, like Homo sapiens, and what's the future of mankind?
Amazing. What is love?
I don't do dictionary definitions. I'm not doing any dictionary definitions.
And I understand that because most people are shallow, especially the intellectual, and they're not really deep thinkers. Real issues and real questions like this, is like it throws the intellectuals off.
I agree.
Because they don't necessarily do anything.
Yeah, we're not going to waste time there
Right.
defining dictionary words.
It's so amazing.
Thank you.
My final question, did you have fun?
No.
You did?
No, listen, I think that this is, in 1,000 years, when the sociologists and the philosophers try to figure out what exactly happened in the United States right around this time, this type of conversation is going to be incredibly informative for them. So I'm glad to have participated in it.
Good, man. They're going to think, wow, Jesse was amazing. And the intellectual guy, beta male. You know what a beta male is?
No. Jeez. Trump, right?
Lesbian. Why would I worry about my life or anything else? It doesn't make sense to worry when you can realize you're really not in control anyway. But yet you have people worried about what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, where you're going to sleep, what your job is like, who like me, who I like, who's talking about me, who's not talking about me. Am I too short? Am I too tall? Am I too what? It's just insane to her. You know that got to be straight out of hell. And I've come to realize anyone who can be personally offended by another human being, Satan is your father. I've been called the N-word so many times.
We'll see you, your boy.
I am thinking of changing my name to Jesse N. Peterson.
You coon. You nothing but a coon. You
You
nothing
call
but
me-
a Uncle Tom. That's all you are.
And you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby. You are called spookle nanny.
Amazing. Satan is busy. I love my country. I love being alive. It's great. I have perfect peace. I want you to have it too, folks. And it's amazing. And it's mind-blowing. And it's something else. I like red pill. Because you have not dealt with your people, the good are suffering with the bad.